So you just bury the evidence.
Just bury the evidence. And
Would you approach your girl?
I'll live ignorant. I'll live.
Trying to put me out, I can really see it now. Y'all gon' always let me down. I ain't hanging with the crowd. I'ma really shout it out. The sounding dirty like the South. She wanna link her right now. I got leaders on me now. All of you boys is a handful. All I see is the fake news. I'ma make it real clear. I'm the best all around here. Some of y'all just want the clout. Some of y'all just want the guap. I do it cause man I love it. I swear I turned 6 to a dozen. I might just hop on this flight. I'm looking around, all I see is rappers trying to find the meaning of the light. Let me bring y'all to the light. Y'all want the money and riches, but you throwing money on the strippers. Looking like the 87 Clippers. Y'all might as well throw in your slippers. I need a Sprite, girl, I really need a Sprite. Don't go and try to throw Sierra in my life. I need a Sprite, girl, I really need a Sprite. Don't go and try to throw Sierra in my life. Hold up, watch me go and pour this up. I see y'all faking, hating, y'all just turn it dubs. I'm in the studio just cooking up some dubs. All of these women all around the show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode, what is this, 6?
Yeah.
6 of We Should Have Done This Sooner podcast with your hosts, me, Bruce Dwayne, alongside Ludi Lou. Before we introduce the first topic, we would like y'all to hit the like button, comment, and share. Doing this will let us know we're doing something right or even wrong. So please follow us on our other social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at WSDT Podcast, or We Should Have Done This Sooner podcast to keep up to date with everything we are doing, or just to keep in touch. Also, for our Apple users, make sure to check us out on iTunes, rate us, and comment there as well. Do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay, so let's go into the first topic.
This topic you introduced, the one that you brought up. You introduced it, bro.
This topic is kind of, I wanted to make it a little bit more funny and make a joke out of it, but I think you said you had a way of going about it.
No, you just introduced the topic.
So it would be finding out secrets about your parents. Either they're dirty secrets, weird secrets, or whatever it is, and on how you would feel about it and how you would react to them. Okay. So I would ask you, first question. How do you feel if you were adopted and your parents never told you?
Won't make no difference to me. Those are my parents.
So you would not feel away. Let's say you're at this age, they didn't say nothing to you, and you just read, and like somehow, like I remember on the internet, I think it was Twitter. Some girl they're doing some sort of class assignment, whatever, and where they had to use their DNA for something, and then she found out her father wasn't really hers.
No, that wouldn't affect me.
It wouldn't affect you?
No.
So you just go about your life?
I mean, who's been raising me since I was a baby?
Okay, that's reasonable. Okay. So how about what if you found out you had more hoes than your pops?
What do you mean? What?
You had more hoes than your pops, yo.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question.
What if your father never had any hoes?
Then he didn't have no hoes. That don't affect me.
So at this age, your father has no hoes and you have hoes. Does that make you more of a man than he am?
Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's not like your pops has hoes, don't have hoes, and you got hoes.
Why would I care if my pops had hoes or not?
What do you mean?
Why would that affect me?
What do you mean?
Why do I care if my pops has hoes? I don't care what any other niggas doing, including my pops.
It makes you a bigger man than him.
Hey man, you talk such stupidness. Every week you decide how you're gonna sound stupider on the new episode. That's what I realized. What your pops having hoes and not having hoes have to do with you?
A lot, man.
Like what?
He's a bitch.
In what way?
He ain't got no hoes.
Okay, so if your pops ain't got no hoes, you find out, you call him a bitch, and he knocks you out. Then what?
I'm beating my pop's ass.
No, who's more of a man? No, because your
Your
pops
pops
ain't got no hoes, but he whooped your ass.
He's not beating my ass.
You told him he ain't got no hoes on Thursday. You woke up on Sunday. So who's
talking
more of a
about?
man at that point in time?
At that point in time, he's not beating my ass for one, because he's well in his 50s, and he probably does not know how to fight.
You think a nigga at 50 don't know how to fight? Yo,
he's a family guy.
Yo, men don't lose their strength till they're like 60s, nigga.
And
so
he's
you fight a nigga at 50, you be surprised you getting your ass.
And
whooped
he's fighting me at 26 in my prime, and I'm beating his ass.
Yeah, right. Okay, you say that now.
I'm beating his ass, going ultra instinct on him.
Yeah,
too,
you ain't
right?
going to ultra got nobody, nigga. You
I'm
still
going ultra
all right.
instinct on him.
All right, bro. That's what you want to ask me about your pops have. You don't have hoes now, so finding out your pops don't have hoes wouldn't do nothing but reassure you that you're his son.
And that would piss me off. I'll definitely whoop his ass at that point.
All right,
I'll be like, yo, so this is genetics now. So now you're passing off the no having hoes
So
genes
it's
to me.
hereditary.
So I'm beating his ass. I'll be upset.
So you find out your pops ain't got no hoes, and you blame him for you not having no hoes. You confront him about it. Then he whoops your ass. So not only do you both not have hoes, but now he whooped your ass. How do you feel about that?
I'm whooping his ass. He's not beating my ass.
What guarantees you whooping his ass? What if all those years of not having hoes has just collected anger in his soul, and he's been waiting for this day? He knew this day was gonna come. He's prepared for it, trained for it.
What makes you think I wasn't training for it?
You weren't trained for it because it's a deep, dark secret that you just found out.
But I was well prepared to beat his ass
No,
regardless.
you weren't.
I have daddy issues, man.
Up to that point in
I got
time,
daddy
he was your
issues.
hero.
No,
you
no,
thought he was the Mac Daddy. You thought he was Will Chamberlain.
He was never in my life, so I have anger issues.
So why do you care if he has hoes or not?
So it made me feel better knowing that he had no hoes,
Oh my
and I got hoes.
That's the stupidest thing you've brought up to this podcast.
What are you talking about?
Like, that's literally the dumbest thing. That's dumber than you protesting in week 1 and still watching games. Like that was actually
stupid. That made sense.
You really
that made a lot of sense. You didn't take.
I thought you was gonna come with me some like real thought provoking shit. What if your daddy ain't have hoes? That's what you did. That's what you discussing with me on this fucking Sunday. Out of all things,
that's a great topic.
That's not a great topic.
What are you talking about? Your dad ain't got no hoes.
So what if your dad was a one woman man? What if your dad was Dave Hollister and he's like, you know what? I chose not to have hoes. Then what?
Lie.
Then what? Not
not
every
facts.
nigga lives his life wanting to have hoes, bro. So what if your dad had just different ambitions than you?
Because men ain't shit. That's what I'm saying. That's not the truth.
Oh my god! Like you always come on the show and you just blabber. That's it. You just blabber. You don't even think. You don't.
Well, like,
you
this is real facts, man. Like, this is real.
Not real.
It's
but
real.
It don't make no damn sense.
All right, if you say so.
I can't believe. I thought you was gonna, like some real.
Okay. So, you know about the Illuminati, right?
Yeah. What about it?
And you know about Freemasonry and all that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Let's say now at this age, like, because it's funny about secret societies. Majority of people are in secret societies. Nobody would know. Their families won't even know or anything like that. What if you found out your parents were in a secret society, didn't tell anybody, but it's some like deep, dark, twisted, cultic shit?
I mean, is it getting paid?
I don't know how the Illuminati works.
Yeah, that's all I care about. Is you paid? Is this deep, dark Illuminati, whatever cult society you're in, equaling cash? Like, is you better off for it? If you sold your soul or whatever, are you getting paid big money for it? That's all I care about. I mean, if you're getting money, then yeah, me discovering it's gonna be quite a kind of a shock. But at the end of the day, you had your reasons for it. I'm not gonna judge you. Who are me to judge?
So you'd feel no ways.
I mean, I'd be shocked, and I'd be like, I'd probably, depending on the situation, I'd look at you funny if you like sacrificing goats and shit. Then I'd be like, all right, that's kind of weird, but I mean, that's y'all. That's y'all. I mean, as long as I find out, you niggas ain't murdering people, on old country roads and shit. Like, that's where you guys go every weekend and just go on a killing spree, then that's fine. I don't care. You'd be surprised how little I care about other people's lives.
Would you want to participate?
No. If I wasn't participating all that time and I just found out, I'm not going to want to participate suddenly.
Well, you're going to have to keep the secret.
All right. I don't care. I just won't tell nobody.
But how would they trust you?
I mean, I'll just tell them, I don't give a fuck about this shit to begin with. Who am I going to talk to about this?
But how do they know that?
Whether they trust me or not is up to them. I don't give a fuck.
So now you're at a crossroads where it's
crossroads about what? What are they going to say?
They might kill you.
All right. I'll kill you niggas first. So it's going to be like this. I'll tell them,
you're not killing anyone.
I don't know about what the fuck you niggas is into. I don't really care, to be honest. If they say, well, you got to join or die, then I guess I'm killing my parents.
You're not killing your parents. You know damn well you're not killing
your
parents. Because you're not.
Why not?
You don't have it in you.
You don't know nothing about me.
I don't need to know.
You and your holeless daddy don't know nothing about me. So I know why you trying to bring.
Have you killed anybody before?
Yeah. Hey, I haven't been put that position, but I feel like I would relish it. I'd relish that opportunity.
Being in that position, you'd kill your parents, knowing that you never killed anybody before,
yeah.
and they gave you an ultimatum. Hey,
yeah,
listen,
nigga. When it comes to my life versus yours, I'm protecting mine. Yes, I'm killing my parents.
And you never kill anybody before.
Look at my face.
And that's the decision.
Look to see if there's any doubt in my face. Yes, I'm killing my parents if it comes to that.
You got 100%. The heart for it?
Yes, nigga.
To stab them right in their chest?
It's my motherfucking life.
And your life is more important than theirs?
Yes, by all means.
All right, so now if your parents are not going to kill you, now you're going to have like a gang, like a big cult coming after you now.
Why would this cult be coming after me?
Because you know their secrets.
All right, I know my parents' secret. How does the cult know that I know my parents' secret? Unless my parents told them.
They're obviously going to tell them.
Why would they tell them?
Because you know their secret.
So?
It's a cult. It's a secret society. The society has to know that other people...
That doesn't make no damn sense. You just be talking.
Hey, listen.
You just be making shit up as you go.
Listen.
You can't mod the question halfway through.
I'm modding the question.
Nah, that's not how it works. If I found out about some secret society my parents was in, I'll straight up tell them, I don't give a fuck about this. If they say, well, you have to keep this a secret by joining or we'll kill you. All right, now I'm killing you niggas.
Because they're going to basically say it because if they're going to have to kill you, it's because the society wants you dead.
But why would the society know? At that point in time, my parents don't seem like they're making very good choices to tell society that their son knows about this secret that's supposed to be kept a secret. That don't make no damn sense to me.
Because they're probably trying to convince them to get you to join.
Why would they want me to join?
Because you know the secret.
What value do I bring to this society? Outside, like, that doesn't make sense. You're basically saying that anytime somebody knows about the secret, they have to automatically join?
No, because it's bloodline.
That's stupid.
It's not any random person. If a random person knew and actually knew the secret, they'd probably kill him.
I thought you was going to be like, what would you do if you found out, your mom used to be a stripper or some shit like that? That's what I thought. Not no Illuminati conversations.
Who cares if your mom was a stripper?
Illuminati.
What does that have to do with me?
Let's talk about real life situations, not this fucking FX.
What are you talking about? Illuminati is real.
All right. I don't give a fuck
that's
about
real
it.
life.
Not really.
That's so what about you? So you have any real life situations?
I'm not talking about real life situations. I told you before that I didn't really have no secrets that I knew about my parents. And even if I did, I wouldn't care to discuss them. I'm talking about hypothetical. I'm talking about like you.
Yeah, I gave you a hypothetical.
But that's a stupid hypothetical.
Okay, so what?
That's a stupid hypothetical.
So what intelligent hypotheticals do you have?
It's not even a hypothetical. It's a real life example.
Okay.
Like you Tiger Woods kids. Obviously your dad is, this golfing sensation, probably one of the biggest men in sports. How did it feel when you found out that your pops was cheating on your mom's or whatever relation you have to her for how many years? And how did you feel when those text messages got released? That's a real life situation. Your pops, who's supposed to be this upstanding guy, this face of Nike, Mr. Golf, and you find out this nigga's telling white women and shit that, you know, he's gonna like choke him with his cock and all this shit. And he's gonna slap him and shit. How do you feel? Because you gotta live with knowing that dirty, dark side of your pops the rest of your life. Same way, like
he got hoes. That's all that matters. Yo.
Do he got hoes? Because he was coming off looking a little more on the desperate side than on the Mac. He wasn't macking them bitches.
Desperate side.
Yeah,
like, that's according to media.
I mean, what do you mean according to media? That's according to his text messages.
Yeah, because
they
he
showed the text
he
messages.
had a secret.
Hey, no. In the text messages, he didn't come off sounding like no pimp. He didn't come off sounding like he was controlling them hoes. It almost sounded like they were just entertaining him because he was paying them. That's what it seemed like. Yeah. I read those messages and I was like, nah, this ain't pimping.
But
that's a deep dark secret that you gotta live with.
But that's what does it matter? You have money, and of course he's gonna be sleeping with people.
What?
He has money, and of course he's gonna be wanting to like buy hoes.
So you're saying, oh my god, like, oh my god. So sometimes I talk to you and I'm like, why am I talking to this nigga?
Yo, you're the same nigga that says all these rich ass niggas are making certain types of money and they're sleeping with other women and they have documents to have them sign.
It's not shocking to us because we're on the outside and we've seen it 1,000 times. I'm talking about if you're right there in the middle of it. This is your pops. You've lived with him. You know, you've grown up with him. The image that he's put on for you is a lot different than what you're discovering. It's one thing to see that happen when you fully removed from it. You don't have no connection to celebrities, but how does it feel when you're on the inside dealing with this shit? Obviously that's traumatizing. I'm not going to front. If I was under the impression that my parents had, you know, a regular marriage and, you know, living a regular life, and I found out this nigga's, you know, putting his dick in bitches' noses, you know, on the weekends, that's gonna affect me. That's something I'm talking about. That's a deep dark secret that I would see. I'm talking about real life situations.
Okay, so you as a person, as you just said, you don't really give a shit about what other people do.
Just me individually.
Yeah, so now let's say you individually went through that situation, you wouldn't care.
No, I wouldn't care. Me individually, I wouldn't care. I'm just talking about in general. I'm talking about as the person in that situation. I know myself enough.
Okay.
That's it.
To be honest, even regardless, a lot of people that go through those situations like almost every day.
Yeah, but it's not on the same scale.
What do you mean it's not on the same scale?
When you're a regular person going through that shit, you know, it's kind of just kept between you and the parties involved. But when you're, you know, the child of a celebrity, it's kind of magnified. The whole world is on it.
What does it matter? You're still going to deal with it and be traumatized.
It does matter. It matters, of course.
It's still traumatizing regardless.
It's not the same trauma, bro. It's not the same trauma. What are you talking about?
Trauma is not measured on different
finding
scale.
out that your pops is a serial cheater, you know, because your mom found a text message between you and the family is one thing, but then finding that out on CNN and it being talked about on Fox News and ESPN, that's a different type of trauma because you have to live it while the whole world watches you. It's a big difference. There's people who can suppress trauma and they can keep that shit on the wraps, and then there's those people who have to deal with it because it's shoved in their faces. And everybody that knows them or everybody that they know is aware of what's going on. That's a big difference. Like
the only difference I would say that make it as a child, let's say I was a child going through that. The only difference it would make is that, okay, now I'm in school and people are just talking about it more. To be honest, like me, if I was in that situation and I'm not, if it's not a celebrity thing, it's still traumatic. Waking up in the morning and knowing that your mom is feeling a certain way, that your dad's a serial cheater, text messages and certain things like that. Yes, it's not on a global scale because it's not on the news. It's still traumatic. It's not. It the only thing that makes it bigger would be the fact it's on a global scale. Like it's not like.
So you're proving my point. That's exactly.
But the thing is, it's not that worse. People at school will probably
it's a lot worse.
People at school will probably find out.
How would they find out?
People find out shit.
How?
You have friends.
How?
You have friends, don't you?
Okay, so why would I tell my friends about the trauma that's going on at home?
You want to talk to like
Not really.
as a kid. I'm not saying you personally. As a kid, majority of kids will go step aside and be like, "Yo, bro, girl, whoever it is," and be like, "Yo, my mom just found out this, that, and the third." Kids do that shit.
Those kids
I'm not talking.
losers.
Okay, I'm not talking about you personally, but people do that. People tell their friends when
White
stuff
people.
going on. Black people too.
What black people?
If you have a friend, your best friend or whoever it is, people have issues and they want someone to talk to.
I ain't never met a black person that would go ahead and go around spreading their own family drama
To one friend?
even to one friend. Even to one friend.
People will, if something goes on in their life, people will find someone to talk to.
You'll give them the cliff notes. You're not going to give them full details. You'll probably say, some shit's going on with my mom and my pops. They might be getting divorced, but you're not going to get into it as to why.
Okay, so now, let's see, even the cliff notes. Let's say your kid wants to go tell his. Let's say your friend wants to go tell his mom that, cliff notes, they might get divorced. Then you don't know about their parents and they're spreading. People do that shit. Rumors get spread just because of the fact you want to tell somebody something.
What you're saying doesn't make sense because you're going off the idea that you went out and you shared that information with somebody and it spread. What the example that I'm making is you don't have no choice. It's already out there. And now you have to come to terms in regards to how to deal with it because everybody and their third uncle knows about it. You had no chance to try to contain this. The world is seeing what's going on in real time. There's a big difference between that trauma and somebody privately choosing to share trauma with their friends. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm just saying it's still traumatic regardless.
I never said it wasn't, but I said there's a scale, and it's a lot different when something you don't want to get out gets out, especially for the world to see. Not a few people know about it. Like we're talking about strangers who have never met you know about this now. That's a big difference.
All right.
Like some shit that I would see as a dark secret is like if my mom's did porn or some shit. And I always wonder that when I'm on my doing my my weekly Pornhub fiascos. I'm looking at these chicks like, damn, some of these women is mothers. And like, how can you hide this from your kids? I always thought about that. I always think about it like, yo, you a porn star. You taking multiple dicks.
Majority of kids are going to go through that in the next...
What do you mean majority of kids?
10, 15. Not much. A lot of kids. I was saying majority. A lot of kids. A lot of kids will go through that in the next 10
that's some shit that I would say is dark. Because your moms probably don't talk to you about it. Or she might. But I mean, you got to go wake up in the morning, go to school knowing some niggas beating off to your mom, taking 2 dicks at once. That's some dark shit.
Because it's hilarious. If you go on Tasty Blacks right now, you're going to see a lot of cameras and pictures and videos of like homemade shit.
But that's different.
And
that's leaked shit.
That's leaked shit. But even regardless, it's like that's still on the internet, and
it don't compare on the same scale though.
Oh man,
there's scales for everything.
Yeah, well,
your mom's being in some tape that leaked because her ex was a corny nigga.
Or some people actually just make homemade videos and put it on the internet.
I mean, but that's different.
So I'm just saying these kids are gonna deal with a lot of these kids will probably deal with in the next.
Like what you're mentioning, the likelihood of a kid finding out his mom's is on Tasty Blacks is a lot slimmer compared to his mom's professionally doing porn and being on Bang Bros and Brazzers and Reality Kings. There's a big difference.
Well, if that's the case,
your mom's more accessible.
If you're working that as like a profession, I'm sure that kid probably either will know and his mom will actually tell him about it, and then at the same time he'll probably be like, I don't care. He'll either learn to care or feel a way about it.
There's no way a kid won't care about something like that.
Or he'll end up being homeschooled. Because it's like, listen, if as a porn star you make that conscious decision to go into porn and then you have a child and it's like, okay, you want to change your life now, it's not, they know it's not, that stuff is going to come back and bite them in the ass and their kid's going to find out eventually. You can't hide something like that.
Well, not necessarily. I know people have that idea that once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever. That's not necessarily true. Things get taken down.
Yeah, things get taken down, but
disappear.
it could still be found.
Yeah, no, not that, and that's what I'm saying. That's not true. Things cannot always be found. Some things disappear and they're gone forever. They're gone forever. They might be accessible to like one person in the world, but that one person don't remember where it is, and it's gone forever. So that you can't just assume that because it's put on the internet, it's going to be found. That's why I'm using the example of somebody who's well known, somebody who's in the game, like they're seen as, well, let's say, stars. I don't know how many porn stars have kids right now, and I don't know what they've gone through in regards to preparing their kids for, the chance of seeing them or running into them. I don't know if they had talks or if they just lock them off the internet altogether. I know a lot of parents do that. A lot of parents just block their kids from whatever they see is harmful, and that only works for so long because you can't block your kids from other kids. And if your other kids have access to that shit, then your kids are going to see it. Example, Archangel, Black Mirror. What episode was that? Season 4 was the episode, like, I don't remember the exact episode, but the moms did all she could to block her daughter from seeing traumatic shit. Did all she could to steer her daughter on the right path. And eventually she ended up going down the wrong path anyways. Like, basically, you can't stop fate. All you can try to do is prepare your kids for that shit that they're gonna run into later in life. But I still do think there's a lot of stuff that you can't prepare your kids for. Like, they just gonna have to find ways to cope. And I find it, like, I've heard stories of like kids finding out like their parents were like just into some foul shit.
Cause I had an example of like finding out your dad, like someone who's into like but it wouldn't even matter, like certain things, like being a, let's say is it considered an assassin? Yeah, an assassin. Like, it was someone who like gets paid job to kill, a hitman. There you go.
So yeah, all right.
A hitman.
That'd be dope.
So as a kid, knowing that your father, your mother was a hit person, right? A hitman.
That's dope.
that low key, that to me personally, that would probably be dope. But at the same time, it's like that stuff still could creep up behind them. Like, you wouldn't think that some people would be like, oh, I'm kind of scared for my family about that and shit. Or even,
I mean, if your parents are guns for hire, then obviously they probably have enemies. So I think the only thing that would make you uneasy is the idea of somebody coming back for you. But I mean, that wouldn't affect me. I think that'd be dope if I found out my mom's and my pops was contract killers.
And you have a slight chance of dying.
Slight chance. I mean, you have a slight chance of dying every day you wake up. So, I mean, if my chance of dying went from 17% to 28%, all right. So what? Chance of dying was always there.
I like to slim my chances of dying down from 7% to like 3 at least. I don't want it to go up. Now I gotta look over my shoulders because some guy might want to take my parents out. They want to kidnap me.
Every day you wake up, the percentage of dying is on a random number. There's days when you wake up and your percentage of dying can be like 86%. You have no idea.
Only happens when I catch a cold, man.
Nah, man.
When I catch a cold, I feel like I'm dying. My chances go from like 5 to like 100.
Because you got a weak-ass immune system.
Man, having a cold really kills you.
You got a weak-ass immune
man,
system.
I'll be coughing up my lungs, and I'm just like, damn, shit, man. I don't think I'm going to make it today. That's why I always have soup. Soup is good for you.
You
man.
have soup because you're poor.
Yo, soup is good. What are you talking about?
Soup is for the sickly.
Yeah, because I'm sick. If I have a cold and I'm gonna have some soup.
You sick all the time because you're poor, and all you can afford to eat is soup. So you're not getting the right vitamins, and you end up drinking soup to try to cure that sickness.
Soup has all the vitamins that you want to put in them.
Soup is for the niggas who don't get no hoes. So I guess soup is for you. It's perfect for you. You and soup are a match made in heaven.
The Rock has soup.
I guess The Rock don't get no hoes.
That's a damn fucking
What
lie.
a lie this nigga's been living all this time.
Dave Chappelle eats soup.
Dave Chappelle ain't got no hoes either. That's why he went to Africa, try to find some. It wasn't about the money. He just had no hoes in the U.S. Obviously.
Kevin Durant eats soup.
All right, now you just heard the argument.
Okay, what was your other example? You said you had two.
I don't think I have no other examples. It's just all my examples are like, finding out your mom's it born or finding out your pops is like. I think one thing that would really hurt is finding out your pops is like, say like a racist or something, like a serious racist.
I don't care.
I think that would bother most kids, depending on how they grew up. Like you found out your dad is like.
Well, if you're white, that'd be different. To me personally, as a black guy, if my dad was like a serious racist, I wouldn't give a shit because it's like, what can he do? Like what can he really do?
No, I think it would bother you. Like it depends on how you feel about other races. Like if it's true. It's true.
If he's racist, I can't change his opinion. I'm just gonna be like, hey, listen, this is my friend. If you don't like it, I don't give a shit. Fuck off.
And then when he's like, yo, don't bring that sand nigger in this crib again. Then what?
Then I probably don't have to hang out in my house. Then that's fine.
Okay.
If
it'll bother you. You're not just gonna shrug it off and be like, all right, we'll just go to his house.
Yeah, listen, it will bother me because the fact is, hey, listen, my dad's a racist, but it's like, what can I do about it? A lot of people have parents like that, and it bothers them, but it's like, you can't change their opinion on it. Like, I'm going to probably hate my dad for it, but it's like, what can I do? It's like, once you reach a certain age and you still have that mentality, it's not going to change. People don't wake up one day and say, oh, you know what? That's my son. I got to be all right. It's like, no, he had that mentality since he was a kid because it was fed to him. It's not going to change. He's still going to be a racist. I can have Asian, brown, white, black. Doesn't really matter. And if he hates all of them, he can hate Jews. He can hate Muslims. He can hate Christians. He can hate a bunch of people. It's like, if he does, whoever he hates really doesn't affect my life unless he's willing to like hurt somebody I'm friends with or care about. But besides that, it's like, I can't really change his opinion and his views on people. I could talk to him about it, and if he does, but besides that, he's not going to change.
You wouldn't want to be around him.
Yeah, so
it does affect you. That's what I'm saying. It would affect you. You won't just shrug it off and continue life as is. It's going to change your entire view of him, and you won't want to be around him. So it would affect you.
But the thing is, that kind of view is not something that's going to be a dark secret. That's going to be something that's prevalent from when you're a kid.
No, you might not see it. You might not realize it.
There's no way I'm going to go to 27 years of my life and not see him be a fucking bigot.
Yeah, you can.
There's no way I'm going. Look how big the fucking world is. Especially living in Toronto, it's multicultural. There's no way I'm not going to see it.
What do you mean there's no way you're not going to see it? What if your dad has a dog avy on Twitter just calling random people, random people racial slurs online?
So basically what you're saying, for me to not see it, I would have to be outside with him. Yeah, if you're with your parents a lot of times as you're young, you'd walk around the street with them, go out places to stores, malls, and certain things like that. You're not going to see him treat people differently?
Well, as a kid, you write that off. It's not until you get older and you start putting two and together.
Okay, so like, you know how stupid that sounds, right? How are you not going to see that shit as a kid?
Same way kids don't see that their pops or their moms do other foul shit. They act different around their kids.
But being an ignorant bigot is not something that you're not gonna not see for your.
Why not?
You go outside with them. Like,
So what?
They're gonna treat people differently in front of you. It's not like
they
they're not.
won't.
Yeah, they will.
Why do you know that? How do you know that?
Because you just said that they're big. Like, they're not just like they're super serious big. If they're super serious, they're not gonna hide that shit.
Oh, they will. Depending on the person, they can like we deal with. We're in that realm right now where people.
So you're not a super serious racist.
Yeah, you are. So you think the only way you can be a super serious racist is if you're like blatantly and obnoxiously open about it?
That's a super serious racist.
So there's no other racism outside of just being incredibly upfront about it.
I never said that.
That's what you're making it seem like. Like, oh wait,
but being a super serious, you're saying a super
already.
Serious racist is somebody is what? Super serious about being racist, right? If you're super serious about being racist,
why do you keep saying super serious?
Because that's what.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulties.
So next topic that we're bringing up is it plays into the last thing that I brought up, which is people being, in the closet about their hate, and that's Curious Cat. I see a lot of folks, I don't know, to be honest, why you niggas would even make a Curious Cat.
What does it matter what people do on their free time?
I'm not saying it matters to me. I'm just saying I don't understand it. So don't try to pick no argument with me now, bro.
I'm just asking.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
It just perplexes me when I see people making Curious Cats, because it's like, the people who are going to be asking you questions probably don't like you. They're most likely your friends, or what you would think are your friends, and they just want to talk shit to you. So I never understood the point of a Curious Cat, and it's not the first thing that I've seen on Twitter or on Facebook. Like, there's been other types of anonymous platforms that have been out. I don't remember the other ones. I just noticed Curious Cat made a comeback I would say like a month or two ago, because it was big a few years ago and people just stopped doing it altogether. And I don't know what sparked it. I don't know what sparked the resurgence of it. But it's odd to me, because I noticed that people are using Curious Cat now to kind of, before it was just, niggas wanted to ask chicks about, what's your favorite sex position and stuff. And, we just thirsty shit like that. But I notice now that people are actually using this to let out real, like, dark secrets. And not even just secrets, but just talk a whole bunch of shit about people that they obviously know. And what I want to know is, those people that are using Curious Cat to dog, their friends and stuff, do you feel like those people have, like, issues?
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about, like, serious issues, like they should seek therapy.
Yeah.
Would you make a Curious Cat?
No.
Why not?
I'm not interested in that.
You're not interested, okay. Have you ever participated in Curious Cat?
Oh.
Be honest. We don't.
Yeah. There's a few when it first started.
And what have you used it for?
I didn't even use it. I just created it. And
I'm not talking about actually putting a Curious Cat and having people ask you questions. Have you ever asked people questions and, like, talk to people using Curious Cat?
Oh, no. I just made one. I just made one. It's like, hey, listen, you want to ask me questions? Ask questions. I never really ask anybody questions.
Okay, so you said you didn't actually use it, but what was your original reason for making it?
Just socialize. I wanted anybody to ask me questions. I answered them. That's it. At that time, like, I think when it first came out, I'm just like, oh, it's Twitter. It was out. It was used. I'm just like, if everybody's participating, I'm just going to participate in it.
So what made you change your mind?
No one was asking me questions. So it's like, what's the point of using it?
Why wasn't nobody asking you questions?
Nobody gave a shit. So no one gave a shit to ask me questions.
You wasn't popular enough.
Nah, no one cared about me to even ask me, like, how are you doing? So it's like, what the fuck? I didn't even get a high on that Curious Cat shit. So I was like, there's no point in using it. So I deleted it. So there's no point in using it.
You've never used Curious Cat, like, the other way around, to, like, ask questions?
Like, as far as I remember, no. If I do remember anything, I'll probably ask somebody.
It's a safe space here, bro. You can
Like if I could remember asking any questions, I'd probably ask something stupid like, "Hey, how was your day?" Just to waste people's time.
Nigga, I know you wouldn't be asking that type of question.
I do shit like that just to I waste people's time. It's like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And it's like, fine. People would do that. Like people would get like really wasteful questions, and if I use that, probably I don't really care. I've never cared about people enough to ask them questions to actually know about them. Like random people on the internet, no, I don't care.
But I'm not talking about random people. I'm talking about like people you know.
If I knew them, I would just ask them personally. If I have problems with them, I wouldn't ask them questions.
It's not about problems. I'm not talking about if you have a problem with something.
No, I'm just saying
in general.
I'm just saying in general. Like if there's a person I didn't like, I wouldn't ask them a question because I don't care enough to ask them any question because I just don't like them. If it's a friend, if I actually wanted to ask them a question, I would ask them a question. I really have no issues asking someone a question if that person I quote unquote care for is my friend and I have a question to ask them, I'd probably just ask them straight up. Like there's no point to really ask. Like there's no point in going using Curious Cat to ask a dark secret. Like I don't care. Like that's just it's stupid. Like as you said, people who use that shit to ask those kind of questions or whatever, they do have problems. Yes, and they do need therapy.
Okay, so my question is, why do you think the people who are being asked like wild shit, knowing that people don't like him, continue to participate in Curious Cat?
Attention.
You think that's it? People just love attention, whether it's good or bad?
Yeah. We're in that weird place in life. People do that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because I haven't really seen any Curious Cats that ended off well. Like I know if you a chick and you put up a Curious Cat, niggas is gonna ask you a whole bunch of stuff like, how much your pussy weighs and all that shit. But
as far as I know, a lot of people who do use it, they're like, "Oh, I'm just bored to get people to ask." I again, as you said, I don't understand it, but people do kind of use it for their own personal entertainment because it's cool to them or whatever it is. But again, I don't understand it when people ask some weird ass questions or intrusive questions or very disrespectful questions. It's like whatever. It's like you kind of should have expected that.
All right. Hypothetical. How would you feel if you was participating in Curious Cat, just out of boredom, and then somebody exposed some like shit that you didn't know about that was happening in your life? Your girl was at the party last night and a nigga caught her.
Delete that shit. I'm deleting the Curious Cat and that tweet.
Tiana Trump impression.
I'm deleting Curious Cat and that message and making sure I'm not tweeting it onto the timeline.
So you just bury the evidence.
Bury the evidence.
Would you approach your girl?
I'll live ignorant. I live ignorant as fuck. I'll be like, shit.
I didn't. Mario Winans?
I didn't know. Nobody has to know. I don't know either. Like, shit.
Yeah, because it's mad confusing to me. Like, I see people who have Curious Cat, right? And a lot of times what will happen is they won't ask the person who hosting the Curious Cat direct questions. They'll ask them about like their friends and they'll mention shit that you can obviously tell this person knows me or they know of me or they know the person that they're asking about. And it's like, yo, what do you do in that situation? How do you react to that shit when niggas is hitting you left, right, and center with a whole bunch of new news that you thought you knew your peoples, and somebody's like, yo, did you know that your cousin Ronnie's been stealing from your mom's for the past 8 years? And he hit on your little sister. Like, how you react to that shit?
I don't know. Like, it me personally, if I read that shit, I'll delete it and approach whoever the person is above. Be like, hey, listen, I heard some shit. I just want to know, is it true? If it is true, it's like shit. We gotta look back at the people where you kind of socialize with and see who's your friend and who's not your friend because they're trying to spread all these things about you or all these things about me or whatever it is. And then there's another thing. It's funny that you bring that up. There's one thing I kind of found I know people do on Curious Cat, ask themselves some like disturbing questions so they can answer them.
Yeah.
I know
be
people
doing
do that.
weird shit.
I know people do that shit.
Yeah,
just
that's
to, like,
weird. Like, yeah, I know a lot of people who be. Well, I don't know nobody,
But
but I know
I can
that
tell.
people
You
do
can
that.
tell. Like you can certain questions.
Yeah.
Just like, would someone actually really ask you that question? Like, or you asking yourself this question? Like, it's like some corny ass question too. Like, it's like
you can tell when somebody's asking themselves questions because they'll keep the questions kind of lighthearted.
Lighthearted,
They'll
yeah,
try
that's
to
what I'm
be
saying,
edgy.
like-
They'll try to be edgy, but it's like, yeah, that's a softball that you throwing.
It's like,
not
what do you think about Donald Trump in this time of climate? It's
No,
it's
like even then, no.
like-
Even then, they'll be like, "Yo, like I heard you and so fell out. What happened?" And then, like they'll like, "Nigga, we know
Yeah,
you
like they
asking
try to
yourself
start.
that
No, you know
bullshit
they try to
question.
start own their like drama with themselves. Like it's like
Like-
yeah, we heard you and you fell out, and so like what happened? It's like, oh man, yes, it's a bad story. We were cool at one time. I don't know what happened. They just stopped texting, and it's like, okay, it's like we're really like no one really cared. I'm sure whoever really, if someone did ask that question, they probably really didn't care.
All right, so like Curious Cat and anonymous profiles and all that shit. That's the new wave, of course. That's been the wave for a long time. You
man.
notice that there's always somebody starting a new exposed page, and they always got info about everybody. And then it's funny because every time you see those pages, somehow it gets tracked back to the original person. I don't know how people do that. It's funny to me because I see it a lot on my timeline. Like there's fake pages, and then
Yeah, so talk about exposed pages. Like, I gotta say, it's funny when Toronto has that shit because it's like Toronto's such a small place, and it's like it's mad for. I find it hilarious when it's funny, especially if it's on Twitter. It's hilarious to me when people bring my name on it because it's like I don't talk to
have you ever
anybody.
been mentioned on an exposed page?
I got mentioned twice, and like
What? Why? Do you remember what the tweets were? Do you
I
remember
wish
what
I
the tweets
remember.
said?
No, but it's hilarious because it's like I would see everybody's like name, like I would see a lot of people from Toronto's name on
Yeah.
there, and it's like, oh, I heard you fuck this guy's girl or this, that, and the third, and then when it comes to me, it's like, yo, Bruce Wayne is like a fucking lame weirdo, and it's like
I remember that.
Yo,
That's what they called you.
and I'm just like, oh shit, this is so groundbreaking. I'm a lame weirdo. Like everybody doesn't really know. Everyone who follows me is just like, yeah, we already know this guy's a lame weirdo, and it's like you're not really exposed to it.
They just toss that sneak jab at you.
It's like you're jabbing me, but it's like you made an account just to bring up my name for no possible reason. And I'm just like, man, I wish I really knew who this person was just to say, man, you couldn't think of something better than that. Like you can at least say I have like AIDS or something. Like make something ground, like spread a lie, like make something up that's actually like something interesting with like these guys just like he's a lame weirdo who gets no hoe. It's just like, oh, come on, man, like really, like.
It's always interesting for me to see those pages because like the person behind them got to have a lot of anger pent up to say, yo, I'm gonna make an entire profile, like I'm gonna use an email address, create a username and password.
Yo, there's a lot of work that goes into that
there's
shit.
a lot.
Like,
It's
you got to go on Google. You have to first of all, you have to log out of your original Google email account and then go and create a new one,
or a Hotmail account,
or even a Hotmail
stuck
account,
in
and then
09.
create a whole new one. And then on top of that, you got to make a whole new Twitter, Facebook, or whatever account you're going to use to sit there and be like, oh, I have all this dirt on a bunch of people. Let me go spread it.
I don't know. I feel like, just being anonymous on the internet gives people a lot of courage. It gives them, like, the courage to be their true selves. Like, look at when we found out KD had burner accounts.
Well, Katie, Katie wants to talk shit, man. You can't talk shit on his original.
You can talk shit on your own fucking if you're
No, because
page.
but the thing is, he can't be like, yo. He can't be like, yo. To be honest, Steph Curry's a bitch ass nigga.
But he would never say something.
But
like that.
that's why he have the burner account.
Nah.
I'm just saying, like, as an example, like a weird example, like he probably wants to talk shit about somebody, and he knows if he does do, he either get fined or make it weird inside of the in the locker room. So
but he wasn't disrespecting none of his.
I know.
Teammates.
No, it was
He
only
just
funny
basically
defending
he was just
defending
attacking.
himself.
He was just attacking people that attacked him. But it's like, nigga, you know, you could have just did that from your regular page and would have held more weight because that's the real you responding. I don't know why he did that shit.
I don't know.
We see that a lot. We see people forget to log out from their burner pages and they'll tweet or they'll post them on Facebook from their actual page, pretending to be their burner page, and then it's weird to me. But I feel like I want to do some more research on that, on how the internet has affected people's mental health, and like if it's basically brought out new mental health cases that they weren't looking at prior to the internet. If they've classified new categories of mentally disturbed people, because the internet's a weird place, bro.
Yeah.
So it's a weird place. It's funny to me that one of the safest places on the internet is the Pornhub comment section.
Yeah.
There's a lot of positivity and like just uplifting and like people just supporting each other in those in those comments.
It's like some guys just like, yeah, I remember reading. I'm not gonna lie, I read a few comments before. It's like some guy was sitting there talking about he had a tough time at school because he failed a class.
Yeah. And
some guy actually really responds like, "It's all right, man. You know, just study harder next time, and you'll do well on your next exam." And he goes, "I don't know, man. I really hate the subject of my teacher." And he's just like, "We all been there. You know, just stay positive." It's like,
so that just leads me to ask the question: like, are all the normal people on Pornhub and all
like,
the weirdos are on Twitter?
Well, it depends. Again, it's all subjective. Like what you kind of look at as weird. People, weird people look at people who call them weird.
No, I say that because every time some crazy, like the Me Too movement, you remember those few days on Twitter where they were like exposing a whole bunch of rapey niggas, like a whole bunch of stories about niggas on the timeline being like
and were
sexual
people like
predators and shit.
in like secret accounts or like
it wasn't secret accounts. Like it was weird. It was because I remember a bunch of niggas got exposed for being rapey, and then at the same time there was like apparently like an agreement of some chicks just saying that they just put a bunch of niggas' names on the list that they don't like. Not that they did anything, but just because they knew the power of the movement and what was going on, they're just like, yo, let's just throw these niggas into it without any actual confirmation. And people ran with it. Like, if your name was put on one of those lists, people didn't even fact check. They just said, yeah, you're guilty.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to the internet mental health. If people don't like you or people, whatever issue, whatever it is, people can easily, if they want to destroy you, they can. Especially women. They probably have more power than men on the internet. It's kind of the court of public opinion. Because you can say whatever you want about certain things or start certain movements and get people the fuck out of here. But
another weird shit I noticed is people on Twitter, they do a lot of they make up fake stories now. Like you see those tweets where they'll be like, you know, this nigga's like, oh, this girl cheated on me. And, you know, I thought she was the one. And then the girl will respond, quote tweeted like, well, you are telling people about how I cheated on you, but you're not telling them about, you know, the time I found you eating the next nigga's ass. And then that shit gets like 50,000 retweets.
That whole story is fake.
Like, that shit's fake and it's weird
But I've been making up fake stories since I first made Twitter, man. And people been like, they never caught, yo.
Ain't none of your fake stories blow up. That's why.
Yo, I have some great fake stories, man.
No, you don't. I like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, we see that shit like once a day.
Where it's like, but it's weird because it's like, I found that shit funny because it's like, yo, what makes someone like just respond to some shit like that? Like, just be like, oh, my girl cheated on me. And then the girl would just randomly, so it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, you ate my ass behind her back and shit. Like, and they don't even know each other.
It's weird.
They don't even know each other. And they got like 10,000 retweets, and people would be like, people would actually hit them. So it's like, yo, that's true. It's like, nah, it's just a troll tweet.
Trolling used to be fun, but like now it's annoying. Like, people used to know how to troll in moderation. Now it's like,
because trolling is a popular thing.
It pays.
Yeah. Well, either pays or get people attention. Like, that's there's only the two things people would do it for: attention or money. Like whatever that Jake, like, just off top, not really off topic, but that Jake, that white guy named Jake on YouTube. Is it Jake?
You talking about Logan Paul?
Yeah, Logan Paul.
I don't know where you get Jake from.
Well,
Well, that's a white man's name.
all these white guys.
Every white guy named Jake.
So yeah, Logan Paul, where he went to China or Japan, and he went to the suicide forest.
I never watched that video.
I didn't watch it either, but it's like just hearing people talk about it, and I seen people like reacting to a clip, and I'm just like, I don't want to watch this shit because that guy's an idiot. But like that, he was just doing, because for a fact, he was just trying to troll, and he consciously knew him doing that would get a reaction from it. And he thought the reaction would be, he knew the reaction would be bad, but he didn't know on the scale of how bad it would be. So he thought people would be like, oh, Jake, let's just sweep this under the rug. You're an asshole, right? No, it became one of those things where people kind of either were threatening him or saying a lot of shit to him, where he's just like, okay, you know what? I think I crossed the line. But it's like, you knew what you were doing was bad.
He's not sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
He's still making money off YouTube. YouTube protecting that nigga.
Yeah, so like that's what I kind of realized with like trolling and all that bullshit, where people are making like fake pages or responding shit to people just to like, everything is just for either to be for attention or drama or something. Like, I don't know. People, as you said, it's a mental health issue. A lot of these people need help.
Is the internet like seriously? Was the internet a mistake?
No, it just, again, a lot of these people had issues before the internet, and they would find ways to do certain things off the internet. Like, there were people, like, let's say the internet wasn't there, people would do that kind of shit in your neighborhood. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll find a way to start rumors and bullshit. But it's a fact now the internet's here. You can do this on a global scale. You know what I'm saying? So besides that, I don't think it would be any different, because it went from being local to now it's worldwide. Like, you can make a friend globally or make a friend nationally, and it's like, all right, let me expose this person, and everybody on the internet would know. And then all of a sudden it becomes internet sensation, and then not internet sensation, but whatever. But people are like, oh, this, that, and the third happened, and it'll be cool for 2-3 days, and it'll disappear.
All right, so very serious question. How would you react if you made a curious cat and somebody exposed your mama was a serial killing porn star? Like, they said, yo, you know, I got evidence that your mom killed 15 people in 2006, and I have a link to this website where she's taken 9 dicks. You know, what do you do?
What can I do? It
What can
happened.
you do?
I can't do anything about it. It happened. Like, I can't be upset.
You're just gonna what? Close that chat and go about your day?
Listen, I can't do nothing about it. Like, at that point, it's
You
out.
you wouldn't have no words for your mama?
No, it's nothing I can do. I don't care.
You just let it be. You wouldn't even bring it up to her.
Probably, yeah, I probably would. But even still, it's like, at the end of it, I'll be like, yo, you doing this is weird. It's fucked up, but it's like, what can I do? Like, it's like, that's her life, not mine. If anyone talks to me about it, it's like, either bring hands to you if you want to talk shit, or just leave it alone and don't talk to me about it. That's basically it. There's nothing really I can do at that point. If it's out there, it's out there. You can't change that.
So you can only change how you handle
Yeah,
moving forward.
yeah. Like, listen, I always thought about. That's why I always found. Again, that's why I always found those exposed pages funny, because I'm just like, if someone exposed me, I wouldn't react the way majority of people reacted. Like, so it's like, oh, you're gonna talk shit. I'll just be like, whatever. Like, if you expose a deep secret about me, I'm just like, there's only literally a handful of people I talk to. I would know who it is right away.
I'll say this though. These exposed pages don't hold a candle to those exposed pages that used to be on Facebook back in the day.
Yeah, those were real pages. Those were real pages.
Nah,
those were bad.
That was some lit shit. Like that was some lit shit.
Those, and that's why I said, like, a lot of that shit was local until like a few years down the road. Like, that shit was local because I know for Toronto it was local, because you would pick the probably 10 most popular people in like areas that a lot of people would know, and then just put their faces on it, and everyone's just like, yo, you know that guy? Yeah, I know that guy. And then everyone linked to them. It's like, so to be honest, it's not a big deal. Like, but back then it was kind of funny. It was real funny.
I mean, I never understood the whole fascination with being anonymous and being a dick online.
Yeah, people are cowards.
Yeah. Well, no. I think it's more than that. I think it's more than somebody being a coward.
No, they're cowards.
No, man. It's vague, and it's irresponsible to just classify everybody under that one umbrella. Like, I think there is something with that person that makes them want to do that they probably should seek help for, yo. Because it's, yeah, I mean, you do have the occasional cowards, but I feel like for some people, like, they really need to get help. Yeah. And they probably don't realize it. They probably think what they're doing is normal.
No, because they live their life jealous or angry or whatever it is with certain people, and instead of just ignoring that person and living their own life, they actually feel like, I'm gonna do my best to embarrass this person and ruin their life, and have like a group of people talk shit about them and spread rumors about them. Like, that's some coward shit. And at the same time, they would never, again, these people either know these people personally or have spoken to them several times. And instead of saying, yo, listen, I don't like you and I don't want to speak to you or hang out with you, deal anything with you, they just sit there and say, let me make a Curious Cat, a Facebook page where you're the topic, and we're just gonna have a bunch of people talk shit about you. Those people are weird, and you need help.
I think we can exit on that note.
So, on that note, this will be the end of We Should Have Done This Sooner podcast.
Episode 6.
6. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in and kicking it with us on WSDT podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Follow us on all our social media platforms.
Why are you talking like that?
Thank you, and salute. I like cheese.
Wake the fuck up.